Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. So it's Friday, and we all know what that means. That means it's Quiz Friday. So I will be putting all the questions down in the description box below, and we will be discussing the answers on Monday. If you have a 2018 version or a 2019 version of the ICD-10 book, either one is fine for looking these questions up. So let's get started. The first one is cervical radiculopathy with cervical degenerative disc disorder of the mid-cervical region, C6 through C7. Okay, that's number one. Number two is a 72-year-old Alzheimer's patient who has been fist fighting with his caregiver. The caregiver says he's been found wandering down the street. Okay. Number three is left ankle pain from a non-displaced left bimalleolar ankle fracture. She fell 3 years ago after being shoved during a bar fight. Okay. Number four is chronic right great toe ingrown nail due to a fracture 5 months ago. The fracture was of the right great toe distal phalanx. I can never say that word right. Whatever. You know what I mean. And the patient's toe was struck by a falling vase. Okay. Number five is aftercare for ingrown toenail. And then number six is aftercare for right carpal tunnel. Number seven is aftercare following surgery for a right ankle sprain of the talofibular ligament. Okay, number eight is long-term vape dependence. Number nine is cerebral malaria. And number 10 is Goldberg syndrome. Okay, so like I said, I'll be putting these down in the description box below, and we'll be discussing the answers on Monday. So today, I gave a class today, and I really like giving classes. That is my joy, to give classes. But one thing that you may encounter when you give classes as a medical coder is that you may have a person in the audience, or maybe a couple of people, who just do not want to be there. So I think it's important to remember to maintain your energy, because you never know who else in the audience is listening, and how much of that they're soaking in, because different people listen different ways. And I think that it's easy to get discouraged when, like, maybe you have somebody that is very vocal and not really contributing to the class, but they just kind of want to be disruptive. So I think it's important to always remember to maintain your bearings, especially when you're giving a class, and just try to maintain as best control of the room as you can, and remember to keep your energy up, because people can sense your energy very quickly, especially when it can get a little dicey. So always try to engage your audience to stay on topic, and this way you can get your message across, because really children is one thing, adults is another thing. And when you're in a classroom full of adults, it can get a little interesting, because of course adults are free to do what they want to do, and so our attention span too is kind of limited. So we have maybe 15 good solid minutes, if that, to make sure that we get our point across, because then after that people's minds start to wander. So you have to make the best of the time that you have. So this is why I always try to make sure that whenever I do give a class, that I try not to get too wordy, especially when I'm doing slides. I don't want to get too wordy, because I want to make sure that the words that I am using are, to the minimum, but putting the point across, at the same time. So usually when you're in discussion is when questions start to come out, and this way, you can sort of relax and be able to get your point across. But when you're doing slides, just try to make sure that you keep your wording to a minimum, because nobody wants to read a bunch of stuff on a page, But like I said, just try to remember that, your energy and everything that you bring when you do a class is picked up by everybody. And it does get a little nerve-wracking when you're in front of a crowd. I don't have that problem anymore, like getting like super nervous. Sometimes I do. It depends on the crowd, because some people, make you more nervous than others. But for the most part, I don't really have that problem anymore. Because I like to be in front of people, and I love giving classes. And like I said, I like sharing my joy for my craft. You know what I mean? I truly do enjoy what I do. And I think it shows. At least I hope that it shows that I really enjoy it, because energy is infectious. And I think that a lot of times when, if you have somebody that's teaching you and teaching you well, at least it does stick after a while. And especially when you work a lot with that person, or you work with that group of people, it really does start to show after a while. So if you find yourself giving a class as a medical coder, and you encounter maybe wandering attention, just try to make sure to maintain your bearings and maintain control of the room as best as you can. So this way, your time and their time is equally shared. Okay, so that's just my thoughts for today. Other than that, that was pretty much it. I'm very excited because I have my deep dive that I'm working on for next week, and I'm going to be doing a fracture video next week as well, because it's been a while since I talked about fractures, and I did get a request for it. So I am going to be working on it. So we are in for a soggy weekend here. So I have plenty of time to do things this weekend, especially work on some video content for next week. So I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see y'all again on Monday. Bye. Oh, and one more thing. If you are a medical coding student, a veteran medical coder, a physician, a provider of some kind, or a nurse, or just somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. All right, well, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.